What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Life Jacket Podcast, where we talk about topics, help you get through the ways of life. My name is AJ.
And I'm Bless.
And before we always start our podcast, we always start with the win of the week. So my win of the week, I signed up for a 10 miler, which I'll be running in 2 weeks in DC. Be my second 10 miler. So definitely looking forward to that long race. It's going to be, I'm trying to PR though. So it'll be cool. How about you, Bless?
And for my win of the week, my online business, starting to see the green of making the money, breaking even, and then now starting to have some profit. So it's nice to see like those seeds that were planted are finally coming to harvest. So today, as you guys see, we have another guest with us. It is Bradley Martin. So first he's going to tell us the win of the week, and then he's going to introduce and give us a little bit of information about him.
Yeah, so what's good, y'all? My win of the week is, so I just moved an apartment recently. I just moved back to the U.S., finally got some furniture. So I'm getting more and more furniture, you know what I'm saying? So the apartment is coming together, and so starting to feel like home. So that's my win of the week.
Okay.
But again, I'm Bradley Martin, Self Masters Strategist, educator, author, coach. A little bit about me. I'm international. I just moved back to the U.S. I was living out China and Thailand for the last 9 years, and now I just moved back to the U.S., and just getting started here, getting things moving. Again, I'm an author, coach. I teach health and PE, and just do a little bit of everything, really.
So how do you think you got into that?
Got into which part?
I guess you could say, well, yeah, because it's a lot.
It is a lot. Just being honest with you, it is.
So the coaching and the coaching aspect.
Yeah. So basically, I was blessed to like go through a lot of things in my life, like a lot of downs, a lot of trauma, things like that. And, one day I decided to just leave the U.S. and and the honest truth is I was really running. So I kind of just ran away and was just like, I got to get out of here. Something else got to be better than this. And I ended up just moving to China, out of all the places in the world. I'm in China, and then out there, having the time of my life, thinking that everything was going to be solved by just moving, and it wasn't, right? So in 2020, I was doing like personal training and stuff like that. I was in Thailand, and I remember everybody was in there, and I saw that like people was using the gym to like numb the pain. So people was using the gym just like they would use alcohol or sex to like mask and numb the pain. Mm-hmm. And I started talking to people like, wait a minute, why y'all putting yourself through all of these type of hard workouts, right? It's this class called Death Row I used to go to. Hard class. The whole idea of the class is like for you not to get through the warm up. Like if you don't get through the warm up, they give you your money back.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So they trying to like take you out, and the Thailand's hot. It's probably like anywhere from like 95 to 100 degrees. You working out outside, just carrying weight. Sometimes you just walk in the street with a weight above your head, straight. You can't put it down. If you put it down, you go home. So I remember saying like, one day I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yo, why do we sign up for this every day, get people to yell at us? And then like people just start saying stuff like, man, I'm going through a divorce, this, that. And I'm like, oh, damn, like people really going through stuff. And the only time they don't feel the pain is when they in the gym with the physical pain. Mm-hmm. So then I start realizing that a lot of people, real issue is like, they don't know what to do with their own thoughts. And then I had similar experiences like that, whatever case to me. So that started making me think like, actually, maybe if I can help people like kind of strengthen their mind, they really can get ahead, as opposed to like they go in the gym and then when they go home at night, like that's when all the thoughts come in and they have nothing, they don't know what to do with them. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I got into it. I saw like a gap. Yeah.
Okay.
So you mentioned like the trauma running away from home. Is that, would you consider, because on the pod we talk about different topics, help you could do the ways of life. Would you consider that trauma like a wave you went through to kind of run away? Is that something like you would consider like, oh, I had to get out of here, like whatever you had going on, it was just too much?
I think sometimes you do I think sometimes you do got to get away. I think when you go through a lot of drastic things, like it got to be a drastic change for you to get out of it. So yeah, I think that it was just to the point where I just didn't feel like, I belonged in Philadelphia anymore. Like I felt like it was so much more to life, and no matter, it had to be something more. And I had to figure it out. Like I was willing to take that chance to go see what that was. Yeah.
So living in Thailand, China, what was that experience like? And then also, what was it like being a black man living in China and Thailand as well?
So yeah, before that, let me just go back. So basically what happened first is actually, I got the opportunity to go to South Africa first. So what happened is I went to South Africa first. I did a research project there. And it was there where like I started realizing like oh, wait a minute, I'm kind of stuck into this identity. Like I was so worried about what everybody else thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like I was trying to like fit into everybody else, to my friends and things like that. But it was there when I was like, wait a minute, like why am I thousands of miles away and I'm still worrying about what people doing in Philly? So when I moved back to Philly, it's like I had a different pair of glasses on. I don't wear glasses, but I had some glasses on. I can see things differently. I'm like, wait, this ain't normal. Like I'm numb to this and numb to that. Like this ain't how life's supposed to be. And it's like I got a glimpse that life could be so different when I was out there in South Africa around different people.
Mm-hmm.
So I stay here. I try to stay here for like a year, but the whole year is like a constant fight of like, no, it got to be something more. And then I end up going to China, and yeah. So what was it like in China? Like safe. That was one of the most important things. I think it just was safe. So it allowed me the opportunity to just kind of like relax, kind of, and let go. I feel like when you grow up in Philadelphia, it's like you always on go. So every time I walked in the street, I'm always alert and looking and waiting and trying to, I feel like I got this mask on where I'm trying to show people like, look, I'm not soft. Like, don't try me. I don't want to show a glimpse of softness, but that stuff like wear you down. It started to feel heavy. So I was feeling real heavy. So one of the first things that I noticed happened to me when I moved into China was like, I just felt so much lighter. How's it for Black people out there? Every time somebody asks me this question, it's different. I would say that like Black women and Black men have a totally different experience for various reasons, and we can get into that if y'all want to. But for me, my experience was great. Like, man, it's like they all want to be around you. They want to take pictures with you. They want to talk to you. They want to hang with you. They think you're the coolest people in the world. Like they think we're the coolest people in the world. It's
Wow.
honest truth. So it's like that was different. One of the biggest things that was different for me was like it was the first time that I was actually looked at like I'm American. So I feel like here it's like, oh, you African American, you Black. It's all of these things. But out there, no, I was American. So they looked at me a completely different way. Like they didn't look at me like I was this Black man, to be honest. They're like, oh, you American. Oh yeah, you must be this. You must be smart. You must got money. They started seeing me a different way. They respected me on a different level. And they even kind of like, they wanted to learn from you and things like that. So they kind of put me in a lot of leadership positions. So I went out there. I was the athletic director actually. And I coached some different sports, toward health and PE and things like that.
Wow. Okay. Now Bless mentioned earlier about coaching. You said you call yourself, what is the term?
Yep. Self Masters Strategist.
You mind like just diving a little
Yep.
bit? Like
So what I do is I help people like strategically remove the internal blocks that's stopping them from getting where they want to get to in life and align their habits with their goal. So most people say they want this. I want to be more confident. I want to do this. I want to lose weight, right? I want to make money, all of these things. But it's like they have no plan. They just have a want and a desire, but they don't have no strategic plan to get through that. And then when you look at it, you'll see that like the habits that they have don't align with what they say they want, right? People are saying, I want to make this type of money. I want to lose this type of weight. But like, this is what you're doing. It doesn't even equal up to this. The equations is off. So I help them like fix that equation and align it with what they want and reach that goal.
Wow, that's deep. Okay. Now I know, funny enough, me and Bradley, we met at a camping trip, Shop Peculiar Travel. We met, and I know you mentioned something about you teach people like, what are some like ice baths and other things
I do that too, yeah.
like that. So like, I guess what are some of like the benefits of like an ice bath? Because it's become real popular now. Whether TikTok, I know there's a guy who's taking an ice bath like every single day for like 800 days. It's like kind of what are some of the benefits of like an ice bath and what does it look like?
So for me, it's a lot of benefits for the ice. So yes, we know that, it helps with inflammation, building your immune system, right? And I think those things is all good. But the way that I do when I teach people breath, right? So I teach people how to use that breath to silence out the outside noise. The ice is a symbolic of the outside noise. When you first get inside the ice, it's telling you like you're not safe, you're in danger, and it's telling you to get out. And when most people get in the ice, the first thing they do is tense up and they get they get resistance to it. But the truth is we need to surrender. So what I'm really doing is I'm just using the ice to teach people how to surrender, to let go. Like I just think that all the time we're trying to like hold on and be in control when we're not surrendering our life. So the ice is symbolic to the same thing in life. It's all this external noise going on. It's always people telling you, don't do this, don't do that, you can't do this, this is not the right way. And it's like sometimes you got to learn how to quiet that out. And what I teach people to do is how to use that breath to just slow down and know that like none of this stuff is real. Like all this social media stuff, all this stuff is going on. Like everybody put on a mask, a facade. Like you got to like focus on you. Yeah. So that's kind of what I use the ice to do, help them build like that internal dialogue with themselves to know that like they can get through anything if they just kind of slow down and breathe. Because I think it's one of those things that it's the only thing in the world that we need to do to live, but we just don't do it intentionally. Like we take it for granted, but we don't tap into it enough. So I'm just trying to get people to tap into that more. And I just think the ice is one of the best ways to do it, to teach that like mental resilience and things like that.
I think you brought up something really important. I feel as humans, we're wired. We want control over everything. And I feel as though like a lot of that you know, like you said, we need to start surrendering to things. We want to control everything, our schedule, we're on vacation, what we're going to do on vacation. Everything's about control. We're just letting it happen. And I feel as though like as humans, if we kind of just let things just happen a little bit better, I think we'd probably just be a little bit better off, like as a society in general.
Yeah. So I think it's about like letting go and trusting God, like just knowing that he has everything set up for you already. But I think we gotta be willing to let go. So, and I, you know, one of the knowledge I always use is like, I feel like we hold on to things. So we hold on to relationships, we hold on to jobs, we hold on to places. And then we're asking God to give us more and give us something else. But it's like our hands is full. We just willing to like open up our hands and let go. Then he will give us the direction. He will give us the next move, the next step. He will give us the business idea. He will give us the people that's going to support us and things like that. But we're still holding on to things that the way we want it to work. So again, it's about like learning to like when to let go. I think one of the biggest skills we can have is like knowing, you know, when to move on. When is it time to fold? When is it time to let it go? Like we can't hold on to everything forever.
Okay. Now your book, you should draw some authors. Can you tell us a little about your book, what got you into wanting to be an author and kind of like what the book's about?
Yeah. So when I first went to South Africa, we had this thing we used to call, he used to say like decompress. So I'm in South Africa. I'm doing this research project on predictors of risky sexual behavior. But I'm also like working inside clinics. So every day in clinics, people coming in with like HIV. It's just real heavy stuff. And their ethics is not the same as we have over here. Like literally, I can go into a room and somebody about to give birth and they just like, you want to go see this? And it's like, that's just what it was like there. And I remember I was one of those people that like super numb, like I don't care about nothing, nonchalant, right? And that's like, the guy was like, how do you feel? You're just watching people have babies, people coming in with like a machete stuck in their head and things like that. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, what? And he was like, well, how do you think they feel? And then he asked me like, you write. So I used to have to write about how do I think that lady feel when I'm this black guy coming in her room, having a baby. She don't know me. I'm just watching her have a baby. So when it did that kind of taught me like a little bit of like empathy, sympathy. I start kind of putting myself in other people's shoes when they go through things. So that started getting me with journaling. So I used to journal a lot. And then I always thought about writing a book. And then in 2023, my dad passed away on my birthday. And I was just thinking about how like his life, and I was just like, dang, like he kind of been doing the same thing his whole life. Like I started, honest truth, I just felt like he didn't really live like to his fullest. And I'm like, damn, like it's probably things that he wanted to do that he just never did, that he said he was going to do that he never did. And I remember I was like, damn, I said I was going to write a book and I didn't do it. So then I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna write a book. And then I just wrote the book in like 90 days. I was like, I'm gonna write a book in like 90 days. And I got me a coach. And I wrote 500 words a day until I had a finished product. But the book is called The Iron Armor Paradox. And really it's about the idea that we all wear this armor that protects us from different hurts of life. So rejection, failure, and it once protected us, but now it's not protecting us more. It's stopping us from growing into our highest version of ourselves. Right. And it's up to us to confront that armor, identify it, and start to, shed or remove parts of it so that we can really step into our highest self. I share my journey on how my armor hindered me in my life and how I started shedding pieces of it on my journey. So it's kind of it's a memoir, it's a self-help, but it's not your typical like step 1, step 2, do this. It's like I tell a bunch of stories and things like that. And I'm just trying to get people to look into the mirror into themselves and see like that they're in control of their narrative, right? They got to change their narrative, the story they tell themselves. A lot of us, we tell ourselves a particular story, or somebody tells a story and then we just run with that story and we let that story become our life. I'm saying, you know what, how about we challenge that narrative and we challenge that story and we rewrite that and we unlearn the patterns, the behaviors that we have. So I do a lot of like NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. That's my background. I'm certified in neuro-linguistic programming. What that is, I just help people kind of rewire their thought patterns and things like that and change the way that their internal view, the way they view the world, the way they view themselves. So that's kind of what my coaching is. I'm helping people like unlearn those things and see themselves in a different light.
So how much of you think people's thoughts like really impact their life on like a day-to-day?
I think that's the most important thing that affect your life in a daily. Like I think it's the things that you don't see that matter the most. So most people think it's like, oh, it's right in front of you. No, it's the things that you can't see, the things that you constantly hearing over and over again. So like, what's your internal dialogue? Like, how you talk to yourself? All right. What's the relationship you have with yourself? Or an example I would give is like you either can have faith or you can have doubt. They're both the same. One is just the only difference is that faith is you believe in something that you can't, an outcome that you can't see that's favorable. Doubt is you believe in an outcome that you can't see that's unfavorable. Whichever one you decide to tap into, to go with, that's how your life gonna turn out. But the other side of that is the way we programmed is most of us lean into doubt. And it's because we just haven't seen what it looked like to really have favorable outcomes. Like we have enough examples of it. So I think we need to like have more of those. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to come back to the US. Like I feel like when I left, I was kind of like running away, but now I'm kind of running towards something. And I think that like the youth, they need to see that like it's more than one way to be successful. Like it's so many different ways to be successful, but they got to see somebody that look like them, that been where they from, that's done it. They got to be able to like touch and hear you and ask you questions so they know that it's possible. But right now, only time you see people that are successful is entertainment and sports, really, for the most part. So then you have everybody, and that's how I was. It's like that become my identity. My identity was just a football player, and I'm like, I gotta make it, and I gotta make it. And I'm putting everything into becoming this professional athlete. And then the truth is, when you don't make it, then it's like that become your identity, and you don't have nothing else. And now you get into like the depression. I got so many teammates that's been go through like depression because they're still stuck on the athlete they were when we was in college or high school, because they was the man at the time. And now they like, damn, like I just work. So they don't understand that like they still can be successful. And I think that's what we got to change. Too many times we have people in their late 20s, early 30s, and they still trying to heal. And it's like, we need to like get to that point earlier so that more people can be like healed. And once we do that, we have, better communities. We have more husbands, more wives and things like that. Right now, we got so many people that's like broken and they don't know what to do with their emotions. They don't know how to express their emotions. So they real reactive. I want to help people be more responsive, learn to slow down, and so they can make better decisions.
You brought up a really good point. I think, in some households, like you said, you're either the athlete or there's no way out. Yeah. Or like even in some, like I have some African friends, it's like you're either a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or you're a failure. And I feel like our generation is getting a little bit better at like more following purpose and passion versus like following what our parents want us to do. And I feel as though like, and I get where parents come from, right? They want us to be successful, and athletes, it's really money. Let's just call it what it is. Like money, I think the world, we emphasize money so much, especially United States. We're such a capitalist society. So I guess, how do you say you have a client who's like, hey, I've got all this pressure to be an athlete. I've got all this pressure to be like a doctor, engineer, lawyer. And maybe they're a little bit younger, like high school. Like what would you say to them?
Yeah, I think it's all about asking yourself the right questions. I just think you really got to ask yourself, like, what do I want? Mm-hmm. Right? And more so like, who do I want to serve? Right? What impact do I want to leave? I think you got to start asking yourself those type of questions, and that will help you get to where you want to get to. Mm-hmm. Like one of the things that I cover in my book is talking about how to confront these societal norms. So like, just because your dad, everybody in your family was a doctor, don't mean you got to be a doctor. Like, it's not your life. Like, God created you to be unique, but you got to have the courage to do that even when people don't agree with it. Even if your mom and dad be like, no, I was a doctor, you need to be a doctor. If that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to do. Because now you're going to be older and sitting back and being like, damn, like, what if I would have tried this? So I just would say, like, again, I would ask them questions and tell them to answer those questions honestly as they can. Right? What is it that you want? What impact do you want to leave? All right. Who do you want to serve? Answer yourself those questions, and then you'll get the answer. And then you move boldly into that thing. Whatever it is, you just go for it. And if it don't work, you try something else. That's just how life works.
Mm. So regarding your book, who do you think is the like proper audience that would help the most? Or do you think it's like a book that maybe everybody should probably pick up and read, just because there might be certain things that they're not even understanding are happening to them that you might shine the light on?
So I think the book is for everybody, to be real with you. But I will say that like more men need to read. So I think this book would be like perfect for men. Even though a lot of women buy the book, to be honest with you, but like more men need to like learn how to like sit down and slow down and really kind of look at themselves in the mirror. So in this book, I talk a lot about like our ego and how like our ego is like dominating and we don't know that, like, we can slow our ego down. Like, sometimes you got to check your ego. So, because this book is a mirror, like, whoever read this book is going to make you look at yourself and be like, damn, start questioning things. And I think that's what we all need. Like, sometimes we need to have those uncomfortable conversations. This book will make you feel a bit uncomfortable and uneasy. So I think that it's for everybody, but I am encouraging a lot of more men to, like, you know, pick up this book and read it. Especially if you're somebody who, like, you really want to grow. Like, if you're at that point in your life where you're like, yo, something got to give, and you know you're the fucking problem. Like, that's what it comes down to. When are you going to realize that, like, you're the fucking problem? It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not the coach you had. All right. It's not the society. It's not the city. It's you. Like, you got to make a decision. Like, I'm ready to change. What I got to do? I got to show up for myself every day. Nobody's coming to save you. They're not. Nobody cares. Like, everybody else got their whole life going on. You got to make a decision that you care enough to change. Once you do that, then you'll get the support you need. Once people see that you care about yourself and you want to change, God gonna send them right in your life, the people you need. They just gonna come out. It's gonna seem like they come out of nowhere. Yeah, oh, damn, I just was in the market and I met this guy. Or, yo, I was just at this camp and I met AJ. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But you gotta be willing to put yourself out there to do it. So again, the book is for everybody, but I am encouraging more men to just, you know, go buy this book. Like, go get it on the website. Our website is bradleymartinwellness.com. You can go get your copy on there. If you're an ebook reader, you can go on Amazon and find it, The Iron Armor Paradox.
Yeah, I think one good thing you brought up is people just have to realize you're the problem. Like, you're the problem. And I get, how do you, if somebody is listening and they're having a hard time, like, accepting that they're the problem, like, would you encourage somebody to really say, like, you know what, like, I need to change? Or is that something that they just have to do on their own? Like, no matter how many times you tell them, like, it's not going to matter. Or they just have to keep failing until they're like, you know what, I'm the issue here.
I think it's realizing that the more you blame everything else, every time you blame external things, everything else, you lose power. So you're giving your power to that person, that thing. But when you learn to, like, take accountability, or what I call it, like, you got to be at fault. One of the things I say a lot is like fault is irrelevant. I'm responsible for what happened to me. Like, you're responsible for what happened to you. I'm not saying that people don't do things to you, but you're responsible for it. You're responsible for the things your mom did to you, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends, the coach. Like, yes, I'm not saying people ain't supposed to do stuff to you, but you're responsible for how you're going to react to that response. You can sit and, you know, curl up into a ball and just blame everybody, but then you're going to remain there. So I do know that if you do continue to blame everybody else, all you're going to do is end up in the same spot you're currently at. But the moment you take responsibility and ownership of your life, it's endless possibilities. I don't know what's going to happen in your life, but I guarantee you it's going to be a drastic change.
Yeah, I think that's something I went through. Maybe 4 years ago. Like, I was always, I was just skinny most of my life. I didn't like going to the gym. I would just blame, you know, my childhood trauma and all that other stuff. But then one day I was like, no, like, I'm tired of being, like, thin. Like, I'm tired of not feeling confident. And then I was like, I'm just going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a personal trainer and I'm just going to start. And it's been up ever since. And I've seen, and Bless will tell you too, like, you know, just how my confidence has changed, like how much I go to the gym now. I like going to the gym and I run. So I kind of, like, I'm doing a little bit of both, but it really does take a self-reflection. Like, you know, I just can't keep blaming everybody else because the time's going to go on. I'm still going to be not confident in myself. I'm still going to be real skinny. Like, I was 135 for years until I decided to really make that change. Like you were saying, like, you really just got to do some self-reflection. Be like, you know what? I'm the problem. And I really got to make the steps to really want to change my life.
Yeah, definitely. I think everything comes down to making a decision. You just got to make a decision and say, this is what I do want, or this is what I don't want. And I'm going to show up every single day. That's all it really is. So I think a lot of people think that they're stuck, but they're really not. They just, like, they haven't made the decision yet. Like, you haven't decided that, like, you deserve more, you want more, that God already promised you more, but you just haven't decided to go after that or decided to, like, change yourself.
And it's crazy. It really is that simple. Yeah. Like, we really overcomplicate it. It really is simple. Either make the decision or don't make it. Like, I feel a lot of it's like the internal thoughts, but it's real simple. Like, I'm either going to do this or I'm not. Yeah. And at some point, what are you going to do? You're going to be a year later. You're going to be in the same position as, like, all right, you know what? Maybe I should kind of start changing my life and doing something. So no, I totally agree with you there.
Yes. But some people would take that. It's crazy because I know some people think, like, you got to hit rock bottom, which I don't believe in, but I just think that that's what usually happens. Like, people just sit around for so long that they do hit rock bottom, but I don't think you got to hit rock bottom. I think that it's too many examples out here to live. Like you can read a book and learn that you can see somebody else's story. You can watch a movie and see like, dang, I don't want to go through that thing. And you can learn from that. But I just think that we don't do that enough. Like we don't actually learn from other people's experiences enough. Like it's no reason why we got to sit here and be like, lose every single thing. And then we like, damn, now I had to get my stuff together. Like, no, just like make a decision and say like, I want better for my life. I want better for the future generations of my life. Like all of these things matter. And then you make a decision and you just start moving and things will start to happen for you.
Yeah. I guess quick question, like where could the viewers find you on all platforms? Just go ahead and list them all out.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Bradley A. Martin. Also I'm at LinkedIn at Bradley Martin. Email bradleymartincoach@gmail.com. And then on my book, you go on my website, bradleymartinwellness.com is where you can find the merch, book, coaching service if you need a coach or anything like that, or just send me a DM, ask me questions and things like that, and I'll be right there to answer. No problem.
Cool. Any last thoughts for the viewers? Anybody listening? Any last nuggets you want to kind of give the viewers? Or anything? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I just think again, just like choose to make it. Like I think it's up to you to choose, make a decision on the life you want. That's what you should do today. Like decide what type of life I want, what type of person do I want to be? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What type of father I want to be? What type of mother I want to be? Make that decision and then take the action required to get there. Align your habits with the goal you want. So you have to start practicing becoming the person you want to be. You're not going to just turn into that person. So if you're a type of person that wants to be a millionaire, so we're talking about money, right? What do they do? What time do they wake up? What time do they go to sleep? What do they watch? What do they consume? Like all of those things matter. Whatever it is you want to be, you need to align your habits to be that type of person or whatever the case may be. So that's what I would tell people.
Cool. He said it out. Funny about I just met Bradley on a camping trip last month, literally last month, and I was like, you should come on the podcast, yo. You were cool. We kind of just set it off, and like I really liked his mindset where he was coming from the conversation we had. So really, really thankful for you coming on the podcast, man, dropping some gems. Like I said, make sure you guys give him a follow. Bless, you got anything you want to follow up with?
No, he hit all the marks right there on that one. So
yeah, man. All right, so until next time, guys.
Nice, man. I appreciate y'all.
Peace. Thanks. All right, bro.
Thanks, y'all.